cut this so that like it will be between us, and I will give you the video, like in a way you will watch it. It's in healnow.tv. So your assignment was Alice through Looking Glass.
Yes.
And what did you go ahead?
The part that there was 2 pieces of advice that I wrote down in my notebook that I took towards my recovery. It was like something about the impossible. If you think it's impossible, I wrote it down. If it's impossible, imagine, and if it's impossible, imagine that it is possible.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I don't know if those words are exactly the right.
And who says that?
Alice says that.
Oh, Alice says that to the
second. She saves the ship. No, she was at the very beginning, and she saves the ship.
Yes. She goes up and drops the sail.
Yeah.
Okay, because all the sailors say it is impossible
to do. It's impossible to, and tell yourself that it is possible to do. So I wrote that down so that I can go back and say
she's the one
possible.
who.
Don't imagine that it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Don't tell yourself it's impossible. It is possible.
That's right.
And then there was another thing about time. Was it time? Yeah, time is a thief. Time is a cruel. Something about time is a thief and a cruel punisher or something like that. And I just took that back as you're wasting your time to.
Who says that, by the way?
The mother and the daughter are having a conversation. A mother and Alice. After she's been gone so long.
That is in the end.
No, it's the beginning in the kitchen. When she first gets back and sees her mom after a while.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they were talking about how time goes by fast. Time is a thief. And I took that as time is going too fast. I'm missing out on my kids. I'm missing out on my grandkids. I'm missing out on a better life.
Okay.
Imagine things are possible. So,
yes.
And that's only, and I only got all that in a half of a movie. Not even a half of a movie. So, and I'm like, I'm going to write all this down and I'm going to bring it to my next.
So is it always Alice who comes out with a good answer?
So far, yes.
So the mother was blaming the time.
The mother was blaming the time. Yeah.
And Alice says instead, no, it's time is.
I forget the quote. I wish I wrote it down. But she was on the better half of the time. I'm going to bring it in next week because I'm going to watch it and I want to. And I'm doing it because I wanted to show you too, and because I wanted to take out. I said this is the first time I ever watched a movie to take out of the situations in a movie into my recovery.
Nice.
So
it was very therapeutic for me. I accidentally watched. I actually kind of fell into it one day. I don't know how.
Me too.
I never watched these movies. They're so bizarre. But I was turning on, and suddenly something, anything to do with time grabs my attention for some reason. Mm-hmm. Because in India, time is the essence of God. So when time came on, and this what is that floating cat? Like it always says, time flies, and he gets really annoyed.
Yes, he's time.
And then Alice says, time is a he, and that was so cute.
Yeah. And that's exactly where I'm at in the movie. So I haven't gotten.
And then you said something about seconds. What is it? What's fun about seconds?
No, I just was telling. The seconds is where I was at. The little tiny seconds. I forget what he said. I
because she goes in with the time, and he introduces, and Wilcox, he says, the machines are doing good, and he says,
don't speak when you're spoken to. She says, but he was spoken to.
and then the other thing is the little one, the second says, it almost pick me up.
Yeah.
And then the time says, they are all stupid.
Yeah. And then
no, not because of that. Alice says, I suppose every second counts. And he says, I wish.
Yeah,
they're all
stupid. And then he picks him up and kisses him and says, I'm sorry, that was mean or something.
No. He says, that was mean. But then when he puts it down, he says, I told you they're imbeciles.
Yes.
I loved it.
So I can't wait to see the rest of that movie and take, I'm going to continue to write down the things that I pull out of it.
I want to get to the place where is your chronosphere and what gives you hope. Mm-hmm. What is your spark? For me, we did a workshop this weekend. My teacher did called Be Your Own Boss. It was amazing. He says he'll expand on that. And one thing he said is if you have 10 problems, there is always a common reason you're having 10 problems. Versus if you have one problem, there will be 10 resolutions you need to make.
Okay.
But whereas if you look at the big picture, it's always one thread that connects it all. So I started like working on it, and my theme was always poverty.
Yeah,
I always want to beat being told you cannot do it.
Yeah.
But it comes from the place of deprivation.
Yeah.
Like, always I was saying, okay, you're not going to be entitled for this. That's the way I hear. Like impossible. Like, that's another way.
Yeah.
But the impossible for me is money. Because the impossibility always comes back from finance.
Yeah.
So I feel I cannot fight something in my brain that is stuck in poverty.
Right.
It's like I need to unground myself.
Yeah.
Because for me, money is prosperity, I'm thinking. But you know what? When I was working with the addiction group for 2 years. I gave my salary and stuff. But one weekend, I was I asked one girl to tow something for us from one place to another place. And that was a donation. They can build their own home. And she dropped the ball. She left it on the side of the road. And that's when it hit me. Oh my God, and if I was normal, normal, my MD brain thinking, I would have called somebody and had it, retrieved. But I don't think like normal. I always think from a poor man's daughter's perspective. So I called my patients, many people love me. So I called them. 10 people said, Dr. Brown, just give us the word. We'll go pick it up. Yeah. We'll house it for you. And there is one guy who said, I'll house it for you. Just have it towed. One guy said, I'll do the barter. I'll tow it for free for you. Wow. So I ended up having 20 people helping me. Right. And where is this money coming in? Yes. Of course not. I am having so much clout. Yeah. I'm able to pull anything I want. And that's when it hit me. How stupid I am,
it is out there. Money is the root of all evil.
I know, but now I'm rich beyond belief.
You're but my richness, in your life, because I have nothing. I literally have nothing.
And you'll reach that place,
and I'm tired of it.
If you are working, but the thing is, if you are working with awareness, you're doing all the right thing. People are going to depend on you. And when they depend on you, they trust you with their life. Actually, interestingly, like I said, I wear glass bangles for my father. And Richmond's wife has, two gold bangles. But, many people like my glass bangle hand.
I love them.
I know. So I feel it's not what you pay for. It's more like what it means to you.
What it means inside to you. That's not monetary. What's the word? It's what it means to you. There's a word for it, and I can't think of it. I don't know what it means to you is the best way I can say it.
I think perception of a value is more important.
Yes.
Perceived value. That's what I forgot that guy, Carnegie, guy who teaches wealth. Do you know that guy, Carnegie?
I've heard the name before. I've heard it. Before.
I think he taught people how to be rich.
Yeah.
And he says, because people will pay for it, this antique that is worthless.
When you work for it and you've gone from the bottom and worked yourself up and worked for what you have, it means so much more to have what you have.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was asking, where would you like to go for vacation? I said to her, I came all the way from India. Every day is a vacation.
See, my mom's she's rich. She's not rich. She's extremely well off, I'll put it that way. But she will not help me. She's helped me all my life, financially. Always call, Mom, can you help me with this? Mom, can you pay for that? Mom, can you pay for that? She even bailed out my husband with $10,000 cash. She's done. She says she's done. And I'm glad, but it was too late for her to do that to me, because now I have to learn to not depend on my mother at a late age in life.
So you, if I hear you right, you said you wish she kicked you off earlier.
Yes. Teach me.
I wish she would hear this now.
Yeah, I know.
And
right?
after wasting $100,000 on you, you're giving her your wisdom. Oh my God!
She heard me now, but it's true, because then I would have learned in an earlier part of my life, in my 20s, how to take care of myself, not depend on my mom, not depend on a man, and not to work for it. If you knew my mom, she had a baby at 17 and had nothing. My mom she's built her work career. She's retired. She worked for everything she had. Her and her husband built her house. She made her own money. And you would think that I would take from that my mom can do it from a young teenage mother up to she's 62 years old, 61 years old, and she's worked for everything she's got. And that's why she was never there for me, and maybe that's why it was always money, 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 money. And now it's no, no, no. And now I have to say, oh my God, now what do I can't go to my mom, so I have to figure it out. And I just wish that I had taken from what I watched my mom go through, and now taken through, earlier to do it by myself.
I think you're doing fine in my books. There is one story. I know that it'll make sense to you, but for some reason I want to tell this. So this guy is a very rich guy. So he believes this Chinese art piece, antique, like how we were talking about perceived value, is very important. So he goes all the way to China and he finds this. This guy doesn't speak English, the guy who he's buying from. The guy keeps on saying something. And then he doesn't understand, but he says, no, I insist I pay this much. He perceived this value.
Yeah.
So let's assume, he wants to give him $2,000.
Okay.
But in his mind, this rich guy thinks it is worth $20,000.
Yeah.
So he insists, he buy it.
Yeah.
But the Chinese guy says, I need to fix the pedestal, go back, come back the next day through the translator. So they fix the pedestal and they give it back. So this guy comes, he puts it in his mantle in New York. He tells everybody in his castle, he says, this is worth $20,000, blah, blah, blah. Right. They let it live like this for 60 years, like your mother.
Yeah, yeah.
So then suddenly he dies one day. So all the kids say, oh, you need to auction it. It is worth now. He bought it for 20,000 value. Now it must be 20 million, right?
Right, yeah.
So they go to this evaluator or whatever it is, the antique business, and they say, oh, it is worth, I'm sure, $1 million. Was bought 60 years ago or whatever.
Right.
So then they evaluated and they were all shocked to know it was a fake. He held to this belief that it was worth
all this money.
So it was not worth what he thought it was worth. Yeah. It was worth something, but not the amount he expected it to be. So they were all shocked. But then the antique analyzer comes back and says it. But there's one unique thing about it. The pedestal is twice the amount of what you thought. So not only it was not worth 20 million, it was worth 40.
Right.
Meaning the guy knew he was making a mistake.
Yeah.
The Chinese guy, he was smart enough to fix the problem.
Better. Yes.
So what I'm saying is, think of that as your lesson. Yeah. What your mom didn't teach you is that $20,000 value you're putting on a $2,000 gift.
Yeah.
So you kind of paid a smaller price. But the pedestal she gave you to hold yourself together with dignity is worth beyond, because she kept you together.
Yeah.
You would have fallen apart. Yeah. You would have been in the streets. You would have. So what she gave back is something priceless.
Better than the monetary value.
Yes. And not only that, even if you put monetary value, it's even beyond what you can comprehend. It is not even the amount you're looking. Yeah. It even goes beyond, because in your shoes, you're still happy, you're smiling, you're doing all the right thing. Yeah. You raised your kids. You were there for your kids in another way, right? So you kind of did what you needed to do. Now it's time to put yourself
back.
I
need to put myself back together. I started my drug problem late in life. When I'm going through this with my daughter, she's 25 years old and she's addicted to crack, and I can't find her. She's mean, and when I talk to her, it's all my fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's not Brittany's fault.
No, don't use the word.
I have to take on. I can't take on her problems. I mean, I have to cure myself, but at the same time, I'm trying to be there for my daughter. But it's very hard. But I know in the back of my head, I know with her saying it's your fault, Mom, and you're the bad guy type stuff. I know in the back of my head, no, I'm not. and you're the one with the problem, and you're the one that's putting it on everybody else, and you're making out everybody else to be the bad guy when you're actually the bad guy. You're the one with the problem. Don't and I know this, but I try and I can't. I gotta put that to my own life.
So you are in a perfect place, like your mom's bridge. Think what your mom bailed you out and made the mistake, and by now, by doing it that way, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So you're given a perfect example where you see the problem, you see the solution, and you are in the exact place where your mom was. Yeah. You're also in the exact place where you are there.
Yeah.
So I feel this is a beautiful place to be for you. You know the outcome.
Yeah.
You know how to approach it.
Right.
So you can reset they call it rewriting your destiny. Like impossible is possible.
Yeah.
So you have been given, in India they call it trident. With a trident pen, rewrite your daughter's destiny.
Yeah.
Because you are capable of doing it. But you have to do it in a way, because of the life lesson you learn, not to waste your money, but do it in a way that makes it more resourceful for you.
Right.
So be the Alice in Wonderland for you.
Right. That's why I got to be there for and I try and tell her, I love you, Brittany, but I can't be there for you this way, and I can't do this for you this way. I'm not helping you anymore, because if she absolutely desperate needed help, I would, but she don't need to know, and I will do that for her.
See,
I cannot help you that way. You can help yourself. You're the only one that can fix your problem, and you're the only one that until you make those steps, I'm not helping you.
See, the word you're using, if you do it in a negative kind of,
I
am not helping. Yeah. Instead, I would say it, I'm going to totally be supportive, but I cannot do it financially. So do it in a way that makes sense, because what they hear is a negative word.
They hear the instant negative. They hear
instead, I'm going to be there 100% for you.
Yeah.
But not the way you
want me to.
Yes. I would rather do it without financial support.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be there for you morally. So because you are already doing it.
Yeah.
So do it in a way that would be positive. And use do word, not the don't word.
Right. So
make it possible.
Positive.
So use the same word you said, which was inspirational.
Yeah.
So make possible of impossibles.
Yeah.
So you would start with what is possible.
Yeah.
Validate that, and then what is not possible, you can say, hey, currently I'm not able to support myself. So it's because of that. I cannot, but I'm going to be 100% for you.
Right.
If in case you're hungry, I'm going to buy 2 burgers. I'll give you one.
Right.
I'll eat one.
Right.
I'm going to treat you exactly like me.
Right.
So, which is kind of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Does make sense?
Yes, it does.
Hey, I love you.
Good session. Thank you very much.
So we are done. And one code word, if I put it in the YouTube video, what would be one sacred word for you in this recovery coaching that would bring out that healing moment for you for here?
What word?
Like if you're going to use a code word for this, like if you're going to search on YouTube, what would be one code word in recovery coaching we can use for you?
Encouragement.
Encouragement, or do you want to use your Alice favorite word?
Impossible.
Possibility. Possibility. Is that a better word instead of encouragement?
Yes.
Possibilities. Limitless possibilities.
Limitless possibilities. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.